What's going on, guys? This is Jay. Today is Saturday, June the 6th, 2020, and we are going to do some work in our fields today. First, we're stopping through in Sky's fields, checking on beans and corn, and doing a little bit of stuff with the tractor. It's a little bit cooler today than it has been in the past days. We have an overcast sky, so we're going to try to get a little bit of field work done later on today. But first, we're going to mess with this tractor a little bit. It's funny looking back at some of my timeline. I see some of the same pictures, and we were doing some of the same things with tractors and planting, and we're kind of in the same stages of going through that. And it's pretty exciting. It's fun. I'm getting to learn a little bit about this brush hog here, how the gears on the inside of it work to make it turn, and I'm learning how to fix this. I'm watching Sky. Some pretty good camera angles. Working on this old machinery. That's the beauty in this stuff. It's just mechanical parts. I don't really know a lot of mechanical stuff, but it's pretty straightforward from what it seems. And this thing, it makes all the difference when you're trying to cut a field. It will come through and just slice down all of them bigger trees and things and help you get it cut a lot easier than running around with a push mower. And it cuts things that a push mower couldn't even dream about cutting. So we're going to work on that this week. Cut some more fields and plant some more stuff, so it's pretty exciting. Now we're on our way to airfields. I love this drive. Beautiful through the mountains, or through the valley of the mountains, I should say. And I'm going to check on the beans, which are not up yet, so we're still looking for those to come up. And we're going to hitch a ride down here to the squash patch to plant some cucumbers. But first, we're going to take a lunch break because it's almost noon. And we messed around with that tractor for a little while and did a little bit of talking. So we put up the tent, and now we're going to have a little bit of lunch before we start planting today. It's starting to get a little bit hot outside now, upper 80s, and we want to get these plants in before it gets too miserably hot to work, because it does get hot out there. Super, super hot out there. And now it is time. We're putting in the cucumbers. We have the trellis up. It's ready to go. So we're going to put the cucumbers on in here. Going to do a little bit of fertilizing. I'll tell you a little bit about that later on in the video, what we're using there. And we pre-made these heels, or these are really half heels. They're heeled up all the way around, but we're planting right in the center of them that goes up this fence line, and they will grow up this fence and spread out in both directions. We won't have to pick up any cucumbers off of the ground. This year we'll be able to pick them instead of bending all year. We'll be able to just pick them straight off of the fence. So what we're doing today, guys, we're putting in our cucumbers, and we did the whole last part on time lapse. This is the last cucumber, so I figured I would bring you in and let you see what we got going on. We have a half hill here. So we're going to put the cucumbers trellis down this fence. So what we're going to do first, we're going to level off the mound like this and get it zoomed in at this. We're going to dig a hole right in front of here down into this soil here. Now once you get down in there to our depth, which is about 6 to 8 inches down in there, it's still wet soil. You can see it's still wet. It's really sandy here, which is going to be great. And we're going to add 1 handful. This is chicken manure. This is a special fertilizer blend. It's mostly chicken. This is an organic mix. It has kelp and seaweed and oyster shell and chicken fertilizer. So we're going to add a little bit of this into the soil before we plant our cucumber into it. That way it has food. If you look on top of the cucumber, it has mycorrhizal fungi on here. It's going to help make associations with the plant roots. It's wet right now, but when it dries out, it's a yellowish white. It will change colors as the water hits it. But we're going to go ahead and add that in, and that's going to inoculate this soil around this area with that species of fungi. So let's go ahead and tuck it in there, and that's our cucumbers. So that's how we did the entire 100-foot row, and we're going to go on and we're going to plant some more squash. So what we're going to do now, we're going to feed our plants, and we're going to use this fish fertilizer. This is fish emulsion. It's an organic, approved, OMRI approved organic fertilizer. This is a quick boost of fertilizer. We just added the long-term fertilizer. We're going to give all of the plants a quick shot of this. You add 2 tablespoons per gallon of water, and what we're going to do is we're going to add water to this backpack sprayer, then add the fish emulsion, and then we're going to feed everything. So let's jump into doing that. You just want to add your water and add your 2 tablespoons. I don't really measure it out. I've done it quite a few times, so I know about how much to put. And you don't want to water, you're not watering your plants with this, you just want to feed them. So you just kind of want to spray it around, not to water the plants, but just as a feeding. So it just takes a spray around the roots of the plant. And this is fertilizer and nitrogen that your plant will be able to use immediately. And plants use nitrogen to build the leaf structure. So where does nitrogen come from? Nitrogen is a gas, and one form of nitrogen is atmospheric nitrogen. Nitrogen also comes from plants and animals. It then goes through the process of emulsification from mycorrhizal fungi and mycorrhizal bacteria that live in the soil, where it is consumed by your decomposers and is transformed into NH3 ammonia and NH4 ammonium by nitrogen fixers. It's consumed again by nitrifying bacteria in a process known as nitrification, producing nitrites, NO2, that are consumed by different nitrifying bacteria through nitrification and turned into nitrates, NO3. Some of which are consumed by the plants, known as assimilation. Some are consumed by denitrifying bacteria, turning it back into atmospheric nitrogen N2. And that is the nitrogen cycle. So check it out, guys. We just fed everything. I'm gonna zoom you in here to our collards and kales. Look at these plants, how well they're doing. If you'll have a peek over here, those are the ones that I showed you how we direct seeded those right into the soil. We'll be able to transplant those out. There's going to be plenty of extra of those. I didn't think that I would get that many. There are a lot of them. If you'll look down this row of nothing but green, 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 we didn't have one single plant die off from transplant. They're all looking good. You can tell that there's not that many weeds in here because of the cardboard. The same thing goes for over here. There's a few small weeds, but we're not too worried about those. We'll pull those. These are the Brussels sprouts. You'll see how good that they're looking. Some of them are bigger than the other ones. We're going to jump over 2 rows and check out our broccoli. Our broccoli transplant was successful. We have broccoli going down all 3 rows. And it's that, and way down the entire 106-foot length of this brassica patch. You can see behind me. You can see in front of me. We got 2 more rows over here. That's where the cauliflower is going to go. We're going to do 2 rows after that. That's where the cabbage will go. And then we'll probably put in some mustard greens. But the brassica patch is almost planted. And then we're going to start moving into block 5. This is block 5. This is going to be our squashes. We put in our cucumbers. I did a little video about that earlier today. And we're going to try to put in some squash. It's getting a little bit hot out here right now. I don't want to put my squash into the ground while it's hot. I don't want to take that chance of them going through transplant shock. So we'll probably come back this evening and try to get those squash in. That way we make sure that they're going to survive and have the best chance. And yeah, that's what's going on down here today. You seen we just did the feeding, and we're going to do a little bit more work here, and we'll probably go home for a little while. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope that it was informational. I tried to make this as informational as possible. Hope it wasn't too boring. I know I get a little bit on my nerd stuff sometimes, but that's okay. That's why I love to do this. I had a good time making this video. I hope you all enjoyed watching it. Thank you for checking it out. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Go on and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for updates on new content. And until next time, can you dig it?